the Metropolitan Council of Nashville and Davidson County to take up the capital improvements budget and a few other items, which the Metro Charter requires to be adopted on or before June 15th annually. Will all members of the council, as well as the public, please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to remain seated for now as I will be offering tonight's invocation. I keep a file of potential invocations in my office for council members in case their guest is delayed and just for reference. And at the back of that file this afternoon was an invocation from a guest of Councilmember Johnston. Last term, a Pastor Beth McCaw of Southminster Presbyterian Church that struck me as timely. Loving God, we ask your blessings on the people who have been called to lead our city, to make decisions for the community in which we live, work, worship, and play. Grant them curiosity about what is possible. Help them listen and converse with creativity and lead them toward innovative solutions to the many issues with which they must wrestle. Remind them as they both serve and lead our great, diverse city that in the midst of the noisiness of a politically divided world, great possibilities exist because of that diversity. Help them to be mindful that throughout history, prophets have called the leaders of people to respect and protect the least among us, the children, the elderly, the poor, the hungry, the unhoused, the ill in mind or body, the strangers, the immigrants, and all those who are too easily forgotten. Grant them, as they conduct the business of Nashville and Davidson County, wisdom and courage to know and do what is right and good and true. May they speak when it is time to speak and listen with patience when it is time to listen. May the spirit of community guide us all, by the spirit of justice and by the spirit of love. This we pray in the name of all that we hold sacred and holy, all that we hold to be good and right and true. Amen. Again, these were the words of Pastor Beth McCaw of Southminster Presbyterian Church, and we thank her for sharing them with us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So tonight we take up the capital improvements budget. So all manner of infrastructure from schools to sidewalks is on our minds. We used to conduct this process differently, and that has evolved over the years, and we appreciate the planning department team and Greg Claxton in particular for helping this list evolve from what used to be called a, quote, meaningless wish list into a more accessible, transparent, and data-driven document. I recall early in my council service actually departing a family vacation early so that I could be at this very meeting to amend the capital improvements budget with several projects in my district. One I recall was a crosswalk, and my amendments were just a few of many. Tonight, we have no amendments proposed, which I think speaks to our improved process. The capital improvements budget for the public as awareness details improvements that are necessary or desirable to be constructed or provided during the next 6 years. The capital improvements budget is a planning tool to prioritize and coordinate investments in long-term durable improvements. Investments are considered capital improvements when they have a lifetime greater than 10 years and cost more than $50,000. All right. That said, with all these improvements, we are a city that is still struggling somewhat to find our way on implementing projects at the lower cost end of this spectrum. While we have brought a crosswalk striping crew in-house, a real improvement at NDOT, we want to make sure also that projects that come from programmatic buckets like Vision Zero and traffic calming are also visible and accountable. We sadly had a fatality in a crosswalk on Sunday in Councilman Coupin's district. And given that we do not have an announcement portion to our meeting this evening, I did want to extend him a brief point of personal privilege to speak about this loss. Mr. Coupin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you to the body for indulging me. Normally, I'd wait for the next meeting, but this, I think, needs to be said and shared that a light went out in Germantown this weekend. We lost Dot Dobbins. She was a self-proclaimed recovering lawyer, an activist, an advocate for violent interruption, and she was a neighbor, the best kind of neighbor, the one who comes over every year with handmade Christmas ornaments and always has your back. And tragically, she was hit and killed in a crosswalk, leaving the dog park, dog in hand, just trying to get home. In the crosswalk, following the rules, doing everything she was supposed to, and she was still hit and killed. And this is an area where we've been advocating for additional support. And I know NDOT's working on that. No, I don't have to tell the folks in this room that we have so many areas in our district and in our city that are working well and so many more that need work. And I spoke in depth about this at the Traffic and Parking Commission yesterday, and we'll be continuing to advocate for pedestrian, bike, and road safety. But I just ask that through this meeting and through this week, you guys keep Dot's dog, Angel, her family, and her friends in your prayers. This is really a tragic loss. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coupin. All right, we'll move forward with our agenda without objection. And given that Mr. Clerk did call the full roll of the 40-member council at our last meeting, we will suspend the calling of the roll and ask that the clerk record the names of the members present throughout the meeting. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes of the meeting of June 3rd, 2025? There's a motion properly seconded and without objection. And seeing no one seeking to be recognized for a change to the minutes of the meeting of June 3rd are approved. Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the mayor?
From the mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. All right, next on our agenda is our public comment. We have just one person who signed up to speak with us this evening. Public comment persons are prioritized for public comment to items that are on the agenda. Public comment sign up happens for the main meeting before all council meetings between 5 and 6 p.m. on our second floor mezzanine. So moving right into that, Cade Wooten is speaking on agenda item 1 regarding the CIB. Go ahead, you are recognized.
What's up, y'all? Cade, District 6, here again, stand up Nashville. Tonight, I'm urging you to take bold, visionary action in this year's and coming years' capital improvement budgets by expanding investments in community centers, affordable housing, and transit hubs, and by designing them together as co-located spaces that truly serve people. Imagine hubs across our city where residents can access childcare, healthy food, transit services, job support, and dignified housing all under one roof. Your decisions tonight and going forward can help make that vision real. And when I say housing, I don't simply mean more tax breaks for developers or parcel by parcel zoning tweaks. I mean publicly owned, permanently affordable, non-market social housing. Housing created to serve people, not just make profit, because housing should be a human right and not a commodity. We're in a housing crisis because we've limited homes to being vehicles for investment, but it doesn't have to be this way. Social housing is a model used across the country that creates publicly and community-owned, off-speculative market and deeply affordable housing across income levels. It prioritizes long-term stability over short-term gain, and studies show that it helps lower rents for everyone in all communities across the board. The capital improvements budget isn't just for pipes and potholes, it's a moral document. Other cities are leading, using their capital improvement budgets to do things like I'm saying. Seattle passed a ballot initiative to launch a publicly funded social housing developer. New York and DC are creating new models of public housing. San Francisco is expanding land trust and co-ops. They're asking, what if local government stopped reacting and started leading? You have the power and responsibility to do the same. Social housing tied to transit and wraparound services can anchor the thriving and just communities that Nashville deserves. So I'll close with this. Will we build a city that puts people before profit or keep pretending that our hands are tied while things fall apart? The market alone and business as usual can't solve this, but you can take a bold step to solve it. All of you are welcome to talk to me at any time to talk about this stuff, and let's get moving on it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving forward in our agenda to Section F. This is bills on third reading. Without objection, we only have 9 items on our agenda this evening, aside from or inclusive of the capital improvements budget, which is agenda item 1. But without objection, we can take up items 2 through 9 in a consolidated motion. I would ask Mr. Clerk, that's because all of these items received unanimous approval in the committees to which they were assigned. Mr. Clerk, can you please confirm that all committee reports are in for items 2 through 9 on our agenda this evening?
Yes, all committee reports are in.
Okay, thank you. With that, then, Ms. Darby, am I going to need to read through those items, or can we proceed straight to the vote? Okay, all right, we're going to read them. This is going to be a short one tonight, but we will, per our usual order that we don't have our larger consolidated consent agenda, we will move through reading the captions for those items. Yeah, no, understood. Yeah, the abbreviated agenda item. And okay, so these are then the items that are proposed for the consolidated consent. These are bills on third reading. I will start first with agenda item 2, BL 2025-836. Next is agenda item 3, ordinance BL 2025-839. Agenda item 4, ordinance BL 2025-840. Agenda item 5, ordinance BL 2025-841. Agenda item 6, ordinance BL 2025-842. Agenda item 7, ordinance BL 2025-843. Agenda item 8, ordinance BL 2025-844. And then lastly, proposed for consent, agenda item 9, ordinance BL 2025-845. Alrighty, are there any items that need to be removed from the consent vote or the proposed consent? Okay, seeing none, I will entertain a motion for approval of all those items proposed for consent. Okay, properly moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Any voting no or abstaining? All right. Agenda items 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 have passed their third and final reading. Now we will return to agenda item 1. This is ordinance BL 2025-835, sponsor Porterfield. This is an ordinance adopting the 2025 through 2026, or rather through 2030 to 2031 capital improvements budget for the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County as the official capital improvements budget of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County for the fiscal year 2025-2026. Chair Porterfield, you are recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports. Budget and Finance voted for BL 2025-835, 11 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Okay, thank you. And Chair Gamble, you're recognized for the report of Planning and Zoning.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Planning and Zoning recommended approval, 9 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting.
Move for approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the capital improvements budget? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. This requires a roll call vote, colleagues. So if you will please return to your seat. And Mr. Clerk, if you will please load the vote for the capital improvements budget. Ms. Weiner, are you seeking to vote? All votes are in. Mr. Clerk, please show the vote. All right, the capital improvements budget has passed its third and final reading with 29 votes in favor, none voting against, and no abstentions. This concludes our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn? We are adjourned. We'll see you again on June 17th.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.